Hmm? Ah! Oh.
There are things you need to know about where you are. Do you believe in monsters? Everyone's scared. They should be.
You picked a bad spot.
And welcome to the show.
I actually asked him more than one.
My name is Alex.
And I'm Lizzie.
And today we are going to have Bill Burr talk to us about the trailer for season 2 from How Are You, Lizzie?
Well, it depends. Overall, great. At the moment, tired.
Well,
I
I
wanna
don't know
take a
how you
nap.
could be tired because we've got some from business to take care of.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know, and how could you not, a little video, and it's only about like 30 seconds video
Yeah.
popped on a couple of the actors as well as the MGM Plus uh, website slash YouTube slash Instagram, and we both talked to each other and said we got to talk about this because a lot is going on. You just saw it and just heard it, and our favorite girl Donna is telling people how it is. We've got new people. I mean, what more could we have?
I know. I just flipped out about it last night and um just, picking it apart and trying to glean from it everything that there is, like what is gonna happen,
Right.
basically.
No, I know, and it leaves a lot of questions that need to be answered, and it gives us a lot of non-context, which a
Yeah,
trailer is supposed to do, and for
yeah.
30 seconds, it does a lot of great
Oh
stuff.
my goodness.
Um,
In 30 seconds, an awful lot happens.
and, as we said before, we get a couple of our old favorites, whether it's our new characters, whether it's our old favorites,
Yeah,
Boyd and Donna, but we get some of our old favorite monsters too.
yeah.
Smiley's back and
Our
hopefully brings
number
us
one.
our number one, absolutely. And what we're gonna do, folks, is we're gonna break this down a little bit of frame by frame, and then we'll show it again at the end so that you can see it. Because when you start looking at this stuff, it just gets so crazy.
Yeah,
Again, if you enjoyed the podcast, you can smash that like button or that subscribe button. And if you want to give us a 5-star review, please go right to it. And again, at any time, you can always give us feedback. And hopefully this season, because we're going to be starting right at the beginning of the season, I expect to get a lot of feedback and from all over the world, even, because our international desk is all ready for our girl Jody in Australia.
yeah.
That said, let me get this set up. We'll hide that and we'll hide that. We'll put that back up. We're going to add this to the stream and let's go. And I think,
Alex,
we
I'm not seeing the clip.
you're not seeing the clip. Okay, because
I'm
I
not
am
seeing
seeing it and it's on my screen. What we'll do
Okay.
is we will remove it and then we'll try it one more time. Do you see anything?
I see the circle and then it just went away. So it makes me think it's there, but I can't see it.
Okay, let me take rid of this, and that's why we are going to do that, and then we're just going to add it right back in. Do a little screen share, boom. see it now?
Yay!
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. So,
We are on
folks,
the same
without
page.
further ado, here we go.
There are things you need to know about where you are.
Now, I want to just go back for a second because I know when we were talking, there's a lot of good stuff. You know,
Yeah.
we've got Boyd here, and this looks like it's season 1 from the beginning.
Yeah. It does look like maybe different angles or footage that they didn't use, or maybe they refilmed it. But given that we know he's starting the episode in that hole,
Right.
and the thing is, it wouldn't be the first time that a show has given away something.
Right.
As far as we know, he hasn't been written out, so somehow he gets out of that hole,
He
but we don't know
better.
what happens. But if we remember the season 5 opener for The Walking Dead, or yeah, not the season 5, but the season 5 trailer,
Was that
it
the Terminus
showed
years?
yeah, the Terminus years, right? We knew they were gonna open in Terminus,
Right.
and the big question was, who didn't make it? And
Right.
they showed everybody. So they spoiled it ahead of time. So,
But yeah, but again, we've got the houses,
yeah.
possibly the
And again,
Matthew.
yeah, because like, all right, so let's talk about the houses because we've already seen the clip and we know that there's a collapse of a house.
Right.
So it looks like the first house that's closest to Boyd is the Matthews house, and it appears to be green. It's got the front porch, um, all the windows,
Right.
and the peaked roof that faces the street. And
Mhm.
then there's a similar house right next to it, which could be white, it could be green, not exactly sure. Um, then there's a Volkswagen Bug, which I think belonged to Trudy because it
Okay.
seems like the kind of car that Trudy would
Well,
drive.
yeah, if Trudy was gonna steal a car, that's this car she would steal, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I would not be surprised if the Subaru belongs to Donna and her sister.
Right. Right. And I'm not sure if they did have a truck or a Subaru. I just don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back when we do our rewatch. We're definitely gonna do that. Okay,
I
so
think
he's
they were in a car.
yeah,
Car. I think they were in a car.
and Harvard Yard. All right,
No,
here we go.
in this little town. Yeah. Okay.
Do you believe in monsters?
Yes.
Everyone's
Okay, so this is from I believe last season in
Yes.
terms of we saw this bus come up and the radio starting to play. Now, the only thing we
Yeah.
know right now before we saw the whole trailer is we got some people coming off the bus. And
Right.
it wasn't exactly a sunny day. Remember, it was
Yeah.
kind of rainy and it
Yeah.
went from sunny to rainy and whatever. So let's keep going
And
here.
and I'm wondering if that is the Matthews house across the street.
I think that's the second house.
The second
I think
house?
the
It
Matthews
could
house
be,
is to the right. Because if you look at it, I'm just gonna go back for a second.
because I don't think the house way to the right is theirs.
I
They're
think this
there.
is to the right of
Yeah.
this house,
So
and
it's
this
that
house might
house
be in the
in front of the diner,
right.
the
All right, pretty good.
motel. Gosh, I really wish we knew what was up with that town. Like, I mean, was it one of those little towns that got a lot of business until the interstate came in?
Yeah, it could be, or it just could be that fictional town that we
It
um
doesn't
that was never
exist.
really there until From got there. Okay, so let's
Oh,
play a little bit more.
okay.
everyone's scared.
Now,
All right.
I love this, and I'm gonna
Oh,
let you go
all right. Because there's Kenny. We can see Kenny by the bus door
right here. Yep.
right there. And then, oh, wow, I'm noticing now that what we think is the driver is actually a woman.
Right.
And from this point of view, I think she's one of the new characters.
I think so. Either it's her or it's this person right
Nope,
here.
don't think so. I
Okay.
really don't think so. I think it's the driver is one of the new characters, and the guy next to her,
We see
who's facing us, the one who's facing us,
oh,
it's
this kid.
either him no, wait a minute, actually, I think maybe the plaid guy is a new character. It's hard
Oh,
to
I think they're
tell.
all new. The only
No, no,
people
no, because there's only 4 that they named, remember?
but they could be other.
Well,
This woman is one of the new characters. I know for a fact
yeah, she's
because
one
she
of the
was.
new
They
characters.
showed it would look like an older woman.
Right,
I think these are all quote unquote new characters, but they might not be permanent characters. They
right.
might not last the season or might not last
Or this particular
this
day.
episode.
Yeah, and is like, look behind Kenny,
Kenny.
is that the grandmother that's sitting with the grandfather? And then it looks like Julie might be standing
That
behind
does
her.
popping up a lot here.
Yeah, like,
Um,
shouldn't she be in school?
damn it. No,
Yeah,
but the only person that really doesn't look like because everybody looks like they have bags and everything else.
yeah,
This guy to the right, I'm assuming he's coming off the bus, but he kind of looks like he's a Colony House guy, but he's not a main character if he is
yeah, I mean, it could be either way. I mean, he might have just left his stuff on the
on the
bus.
bus. All right,
Um,
let's go a little bit further. Poor Kenny is trying to you know,
calm them down,
calm the masses.
or I wonder what he's saying to them, really.
Okay, so we talked about this. We've got
This
this
guy.
this African American gentleman, and then we've got Fatima. This has got to be Fatima.
Yeah, I think it is Fatima,
Yeah. So
with the high cheekbones. I mean, she's out of focus, so it's really difficult, but, um, if Julie is over there and Kenny's over there, it's conceivable that Fatima might be there. So we've got this guy who I joked in my video that Donna scared him a little bit,
yeah,
and he was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, what?"
exactly.
And went into a seizure. So if you wanna
They should be.
yeah, if you're not scared, you should be. So, I mean, if we go back a smidge, we see Donna, before the seizure, and we see Donna, and she's standing in the diner.
Right.
So, my guess is that she's giving them the rude awakening in the diner.
As she likes to say, the worst talk you're ever going to hear.
Yeah, it is the worst talk you're ever gonna hear.
And now we're going to move into
The seizure, and it looks like it's Kenny and Julie, and then Kenny and Julie again. Alright, so
yeah,
Kenny and Julie trying to steady him, and most likely a woman from the bus trying to help, because I don't recognize that hair.
mhm. No, I was going to say, so the house falls, and
Yeah,
one of the biggest problems is, of course, it's out of context. Is it the house that the Matthews house, or is it near that the central part of the town? It doesn't look like it, but at the same time, they've got all these catacombs, and you've got Tabitha and Victor in there, somewhere
right.
in there. So who knows if that's even related? Um,
Well, I mean, if you look to the far right, it looks like there's a pile of dirt, that's there. So, it's not the house that Tabitha was digging in, because we know that she was digging in their house.
right.
Um, but there's a pile of dirt there.
And you were saying about the car being different, and that's something that
Yeah.
we're going to also have to take a look at when we do our rewatch, just to make sure to see where that house exactly is.
I think it's down the street.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Because you know how there's cars parked along the way? There's the truck that I think it's a truck that's upside down in the pool, or is it a
Yep.
car that's upside down in the pool? And then, the Bug, the Subaru, and there's cars just parked along that street. And then the Matthews camper is, off the side of the road in the trees where Jade's car is.
Right.
So, looking at this house, the porch is parallel to the street and it's not facing the street,
Mm-hmm.
but it could possibly have an entrance on another street, because if you look at that house that's in the far upper left, you can sort of see the road there. So it comes around and makes a corner.
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be either way, but the Matthews house and the peak are facing the street. The Matthews, yeah, the Matthews, the peak of the house, the roof, and the porch are facing the street. And
Yeah.
so this porch is very clearly on the side of the house.
Right.
So
Right.
it makes you wonder. It looks like it's something that happened suddenly because of the way that Kenny has his hands on his head and Julie's just watching. So no idea what happened here, but it recently rained.
Exactly. So
We
let's
know
take
that
a
much.
look what's going to happen now. All right. So let's go back for a second because
It starts like flashing through people,
right.
and it starts with Jim.
Right.
Now his hair is wet. We can see that. There's a broken beam of some sort next to him, and he looks like he's lower than the floor because the person behind him, which it looks like Kenny's watch,
Mm-hmm.
is up by his shoulder, and that person is standing on a floor.
And
And
you can make the assumption right after the last when the show had ended, he probably tried to go back into the house.
he
And
did. He went back
yeah,
into the
I'm
house.
saying, and
Yeah.
try to dig and get her out. So
Yeah. I
the,
mean, I remember it just broke through, right? But
right.
I don't know if there's a pile or that a pile of dirt or what the story is there. We don't know what he sees. He just knows that she's down there. All right.
Now we
So
got
there's
Julie.
Julie looking out the window, and it looks like diner blinds because they're long. And then if you look, the lights look like the lights from the diner.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So she's looking at something. Hopefully, I would think that they have a talisman to
I know.
protect
Well,
them.
mine's on the window so that they don't come in. Now again,
I just
we've got
carry it like this. Like,
our
oh,
newlyweds. We've got our newlyweds
why are you calling them newlyweds?
because he proposed to her.
Oh, he proposed to her, but he didn't marry her.
Okay,
Proposing
I'm
and
sorry. They're
marrying.
the engaged
Yeah,
too.
I've been
Sorry.
engaged a few times. Engagement ain't married.
All right.
But at any rate, it looks like where are they standing?
Oh,
Because
I'm sorry.
he's injured. Ooh.
In some house, or maybe possibly no, not the diner, but some
I don't
house
think it's the diner.
there
It looks like a house. It does look like a house.
with the blinds,
Yeah, and maybe screens behind them.
and then of
All right.
course Kenny is as cheerful as ever.
Well, I think he's stressed out, and it looks like he's talking to Julie. Oh
Yeah.
no, I just broke my talisman. What happened? You can't play with your talisman, apparently.
And
All right.
then
Sarah.
we got our favorite.
All right. My talisman is totally broken.
Uh,
I'm gonna cry. I
hopefully it'll
should have
still
taken
work.
it off my microphone. I hope it still protects me. All right, so there's Sarah. I thought she looked demonic when I looked at this picture the first time, but you think she's listening.
I think that she's turning a corner. I think she's on her road to redemption, but who knows?
I think she wants to be redempted, but
The voices
she's
don't
in a
want her to.
weird spot because she's hearing the voices, and I'm wondering if she still believes the voices.
Okay.
And because, she's been on this trek with Boyd, and now they're separated. So this is, after they've been separated. So maybe she's explaining what happened. But can she trust the voices? And I just noticed we're at 20 seconds into 30,
I know.
and already so much has happened. So it looks like she's still in the same sweater. And the
There's
next
Jade.
room is Jade, who looks like he's in the box
But wait, look at his sweater.
with all the kitties.
I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than that. He does look like he's in the box, but I don't think there's a box anymore. I just think
No,
he's
like Boyd fixed it.
but he's scared.
He's scared. I wonder if he's in that cellar.
Yeah.
If somehow he ended up in that cellar with his proclivities. You know, where he's
All
just
right.
like,
Then we get to
wait a minute, maybe he's looking across at that.
possibly.
And we were discussing this because, all right, so at first, the first time I looked at it, I thought at the top of its head, it was an injury. But I don't think so anymore. It
I
looks
think it's
like
just their
someone,
hair.
yeah, it's hair. It's someone that obviously doesn't have thick hair, and it's growing in clumps and it's long. But I don't know, does it look like anyone we know?
All right.
And
Let
it
me
looks
just go
like
back.
it has sideburns. If you look
Yeah.
over by the ear, it looks like it could have sideburns, which would suggest that it's male.
I think it's one of two things. I think this creature is locked up. I really do believe that.
But it's interesting because those sticks would be
Nothing
you'd be
for it.
able to, yeah, nothing for it. You'd be able to break through it. So there must be maybe there's a talisman or something on the other side to keep it there.
I don't know, but that's why we're gonna.
That's 21 seconds.
And then we have this nice young couple.
Yeah. And all right, so the woman looks like the woman that was standing beside the bus,
Correct.
which this makes me wonder if they did not believe, like they got off, went into the diner, thought that what Donna was saying was crap, and got back on the bus, and then someone decided to get on the bus with them. But look over almost all the way to the left. There's that yellow thing. It almost looks like a raincoat. Not sure what that is.
Yeah, me either.
Keep
And
going.
then we see our buddy.
Yes.
And
He
he
comes in
just
at 22 seconds. Look at him.
and wait, it gets the one look. There you go. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
He breaks into a
he's
smile.
so cute. And he has a great line, you know. I believe he said, I think
Did you get a bad seat?
yeah, you get a bad
Was that
seat
what
or
he said?
I
I
think
think
so.
you should say, "I would like fries with that, please." Look
I
at
want
that
some fries with
smile.
that shake. And
Yeah.
then it just goes, oh, now we got Boyd. So
Yeah.
they are saying that he's still there.
He's still in there. Unless they're picking it up. That's the first thing. We pick him up there. So
And I love
creepy
that,
and a little bit disturbing.
you know, I love how they're talking about all the critically acclaimed stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our quotes are not in there because we're just not as big as the guy all the way to the right.
And
And
I know.
you gotta love if Stephen King loves this,
Yeah.
it's gotta be good. I mean, not that it wasn't good, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
if he's in
it's yeah. He, obviously everyone takes his word for the scariest of the scariest. I mean, if you've read Salem's Lot or it is scary.
I
Um,
mean, scary as hell does not, that's
well,
like the,
hell is scary. Let's see if we here's my shirt. Hell was boring.
there you
That's
go.
what I'm wearing. But, um, gosh, could you imagine if he's, like, listening to us, which I doubt he is, but
Oh, of course he is, just like everybody else
yeah,
is.
exactly. That would I wouldn't have to know. I don't know that I'd want to know, but that would be something.
I
So
mean, I'm really
unrelenting
upset that our
terror.
quotes are not on here. I mean, come on,
What
Lizzie,
have
get
we
on the
said? What
'cause
have
we're
we said? We love Jade?
we said, "This is the coolest show ever."
It is the coolest show.
All right.
Um,
And then
the
end.
it's gonna
I'm
premiere.
just gonna
April
play it one more
23rd.
time through, and then we
Yeah.
can do like, final thoughts or whatever you want to do.
What does it say? Oh, yeah, play it all the way
But
through. No, play it all the way through. We'll get
okay.
to it.
Okay.
There are things you need to know about where you are. Do you believe in monsters? Everyone's scared. They should be.
You picked a bad spot.
You picked a bad
You picked a bad spot.
You picked a bad spot, and it's just the woods. All right, so that's what the rest of that is.
There are things you need to know.
So that is what we're talking about. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Well,
You
just
know,
when we think it doesn't, it does. Oh my gosh, you have the baby
I
or the
have
child
oh, I do
behind
have
you.
the child. Yes, that was a
Yeah.
gift from my child to me.
Aw,
Um,
gave you
and
a child.
yes, I know.
So,
Uh,
I'm excited. We're gonna have Liz Saunders on,
back on, yeah.
before the show comes back, and so I'm excited. Like, she can't tell us much, but she can certainly talk about the conversation in the diner since we know she has it. She can't tell us what she says beyond that, but
Of
oh,
course not,
wow.
but, we'll
Yeah.
we'll try to get her to slip, ha, ha, ha. No, I
No,
mean,
no,
it
no.
comes down to this, it's just exciting that, you've really helped me keep the conversation going, and, we've been
How have
thinking of
I helped you? You do all the talking.
stop. That's not true. I let you talk once
In a while.
in a while. No, but I'm just saying, like, you were the one that got me pumped up about the show, and I
Yeah.
just think it's great, and the fact is we got Smiley back, we got everybody back, and hopefully we'll get some more questions, and hopefully we get a couple of answers. I mean, if it is, I mean, we saw in, I think I think they posted that there's possibly a season 3. At least that's what it
Well,
said, it got
yeah,
renewed.
somehow it was released. There was an article, and in that article, it was talking about the show coming back, for April 23rd. But then it also said that the show had been renewed for a third season.
Right.
And for a show to be renewed prior to the second season airing, it shows an extreme level of confidence that MGM Plus has in this show. However, in my little video, which some of you may or may not have seen, um, that's at the end. I just have it go, meow, and Liz Saunders said that they might have just jumped the gun with that it's not official yet.
Well,
So
all I
maybe
know
it's
is
just pressure. I mean, look at what we've just seen.
I
We,
know.
it just looks amazing. It's one of the best trailers I've seen as far as getting me excited and scared all at the same time.
Yep.
I love when Donna just puts it out there. Um, scenes where she's got a decent monologue and she just delivers it. We're seeing Jade look terrified, and it makes me wonder if it's another thing like he had with the Civil War soldier. And,
Yeah, because he
you
still
know
hasn't resolved that yet. We still haven't
no,
resolved that. I
no,
mean,
and we don't know if he's actually seeing it or if he's hallucinating,
right.
because we do know that he was a recreational drug user,
Correct.
when he landed there. So we don't it could be anything. And the fact that, he is there, he's smoking a lot of weed. Um, Jim doesn't agree with his derelict proclivities, but that's okay. But it may open his mind to something. But then others would have that same openness because Fatima is growing weed up there, up at
Yeah, but
Carl's
he,
house.
like you've said before in the past, he's on a different level,
He
you
is on a
know.
different level. He senses things that most normal, I don't want to call him abnormal, but most people don't. Um, like he has access to a part of his mind that a lot of us don't, which has made him a wonderkind and, wealthy, one of those wealthy tech guys,
Hmm.
so wealthy that his friend was driving him around and procuring him fun, to the extent where um, he thought that where they had landed was an immersion park
Right. No,
of some sort.
exactly. And, you know, we haven't, the one thing about this show and the finale, they took inventory of everybody. They have
Yeah,
inventory in this clip, in this trailer, which makes it
yeah,
great. You still have some questions. And,
yeah.
hopefully we'll get another trailer before the season starts. And I'm just pumped.
Yeah, I
Uh,
am too. I don't know. I don't think I need another trailer. I just want, April 23rd to come. I mean, we haven't seen Tabitha and Victor.
mhm.
We haven't seen Ethan,
Or the boy in
um,
white,
the
or
boy in white, or even the young Victor. We
mhm,
haven't seen Tom, the bartender. Um, we've seen we haven't seen, oh gosh, the medic, the paramedic, I can't think of her
Chloe.
name. Chloe. No, that's her real name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. It's
Oh
like,
my god, I'm drawing a blank.
you think we would know these people because we're doing a podcast.
I'm just drawing a
Christy,
blank.
Christy.
Christy, yeah, I'm just drawing a blank. So Christy, we don't see her. Um,
I mean, yeah, we've got a
yeah,
lot of questions. We got a lot of
yeah,
questions going on, and I
yeah.
think that it's gonna be a fun ride, and we are here for all of it. But
Don't we see a lot of those people in front of the bus, but we
mhm,
know there were only 4 people, um,
that they named.
that they named as new, characters. So, does that mean it's a bloody night?
I mean, who knows? We might even get who knows even what the title is yet. Even with the title, it might be like, the Red Wedding. This
Oh
could be
god,
the From's Red Wedding.
yeah.
But that's the fun part about this. I mean, all of it, if we go back and we look at what we said today versus what it really is, it's probably going to be a bunch of crap in terms of, because everything's out of context, and it's great. But
Yeah.
I'm just so glad that you told me to
Watch
to
it.
to watch it. Well, I knew I was going to watch it, but so
Did
we
you
can do it.
even know it existed before I told you
No,
about it?
I saw it on social media, and then,
Oh.
yeah, but it had dropped. You had sent it
It
to
had
me.
been several months. It had been around for a couple of months before, um, because you said something to me a year ago, March. I
Mhm,
believe it dropped around March to begin with, and it ran for 10 weeks. So that
right.
puts us into May, and all I knew was that while I was watching it, I had to talk about it.
Right.
I watch a lot of TV. Um, there are things that I wanna talk about or don't talk about, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that was something when I was watching the show, it was so rich and everything so nuanced and everything means something that it was a show that I wanted to talk about. And I
Mhm.
think that when you have a show like that, there's others that just wanna listen and see how our views and summations line up with theirs.
And, we've been, I've always said this. I've never been right about this. This is just one opinion, and that's why I love listening to the feedback, because
Yeah.
they might bring up something that we just don't see. Because
Or we
honestly,
missed.
Yeah, I'm saying we just don't see everything, and we're
Yeah,
only, two people. So
yeah,
that's what's great about listeners, and that's what's great about when we get to talk to the cast that they bring such a great insight to it, and they
yeah,
might bring something up that we don't think about.
yeah.
Like Tom
Because
is part of the monsters, which I think he
maybe he
is.
is. Yeah, maybe he is.
Regardless if he thinks he isn't,
Yeah,
he is in my
yeah.
eyes.
Uh,
So
but Reed Price is very nice.
he's the best. He's the
He's just
best.
very nice. But um, what was I gonna say? I I know when I go back to do my rewatch, I'm gonna catch things that I missed the first 3 or 4 times through, but I think at this point, having been through it several times,
Right.
there are things that show up that you don't take inventory the first or second time, maybe even the third time, but because you don't know how it's gonna turn out.
Right.
But now that you know how it's gonna turn out, you're like, "Oh my gosh, that was an Easter egg, that's important, that has something to do with what's going on, and it's an important clue that I missed."
Well, Lizzie, thank you so much for, getting me back up here to get ready for season two.
Yeah,
This is pretty much our start of our season two
coverage.
coverage, and it's gonna be a wild ride. So make sure
Yeah.
you are ready. I know you have. You might have to get another talisman. Hopefully, you can put it back together and it'll still work.
I'm gonna try some Gorilla Glue.
And
I
hopefully, the magic will
hopefully
still
that
work.
works. Yeah, I've got to
And
stay safe.
all right. Well, that's our show, folks. And if, like I said, if you like the show, give us a like or subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you like us even better, you can write a review and a 5-star review. And if you want to have any feedback, you can go to podcastica.com. Just on another note, what other shows are you watching right now?
I am watching The Politician, which I think is an older show that showed up on my Netflix. Um, I'm loving CBS's Ghosts.
Really?
And, oh, it's like my comfort show. I'll just go and have it playing in the background. I've seen the episode so many times, but it's based off of a British show, a BBC show of the same name.
Okay.
And I had happened across it and just fell in love with the BBC version, and then the CBS version, came out, and I was like, "It's rubbish. I couldn't possibly love any of these characters," and now I do. Oh my gosh, I love Sass and, um, oh my gosh, I can't think of anybody's names, like
Isn't
Flower.
Ben Franklin in it?
No, Ben Franklin's not in it.
Oh, no,
Um
no, I thought there was a
Oh,
character.
it's a guy from it's his name is Isaac, and he's from the civil not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War,
Okay.
and he's really pissed that Hamilton became famous.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's really
Yeah.
funny. I'm definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then,
I'm sorry.
there's a
No, keep going.
Viking, um, there is a robber baron wife, which the woman had shown up in an Al Pacino movie where he plays the devil. And Charlize Theron is
Oh,
in
yeah,
that
the
movie.
Devil's Advocate. I love that.
Devil's
With
Advocate, yeah.
w
She's one of the attorney's wives.
okay.
So, but she plays the robber baron's wife here. The woman that was the lead in iZombie is the lead in this, show. Um, all right, so they have a Wall Street bro, and there's a beheaded '50s guy that they've screwed that character up because in the British show, it is a lord from, Queen Elizabeth the First reign, the first
Right.
Elizabeth from, her time frame, the 1500s, and he's accidentally beheaded.
Wow.
And So we don't know how the 50s dude gets beheaded. And they've screwed up that character because the Lord in the British version has a regular part in it. And who else? Oh my God. Althea is a jazz singer from the 30s or the 20s, one or the other. And she's amazing. And they all have a ghost power, which is
Okay.
really cool. So the Civil War guy, not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War guy, Thor. Wait a minute. Thor is the Viking. I couldn't think of his name, but the Revolutionary guy, Isaac, died of dysentery.
Okay.
So he passes some really strong gas. That's what he's known for.
He's got a very combustible personality.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I mean, I know I've talked to you a couple of times. You know, I'm doing the Cast of Us
Yeah. Oh,
after
in
show,
1923. Yeah, you're doing
and
the
we just did
Cast of Us.
1923. I had
Yeah.
you on there, and that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the ending was as gripping as it could have been. But and I think it's going to be a year or whatever before they can get the next one going. But yeah, I'm
Wait a
doing
minute.
the
That was not the finale, was it?
Yeah, it was. We're done. They're
Are you
done.
kidding me? That was it?
That's it. 8 episodes. That's all
That
Harrison
was
Ford.
8 episodes?
Yeah.
Wow,
mean,
I
they
can't
made it as
even
hard as
tell you how
possible.
disappointed I am then.
But I mean, they tried to do whatever they could to make people not watch that show. They
I think
started
that
on
they did.
Christmas. They did it
Yeah.
on New Year's. They did it. I mean, every single
Like,
holiday.
yeah, and then they ran a new episode and then nothing for a
Right.
couple
And then they
weeks.
took a couple of weeks off and then they started all over again.
And
So, I
you know
mean,
what? Spencer's wife is actually in The Politician.
oh, is she?
Yeah, I was looking at her, I'm like, she looks familiar. She plays the politician's significant other. But,
Ah. Well, she was
yeah,
definitely amazing on 1923.
she
And
is,
like I
yeah.
said, Cast of Us podcast, I'm doing the after show for
The Last
Last of
of Us.
Us.
Oh my
And
goodness, that show.
I mean, we could go on forever for that,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Oh, so
it's
intricately
so much
beautiful.
better than I thought it was going to be. And for a show that has infected instead of zombies, but infected or the lack thereof, when they show up, man, all you need is one of them, and
Yeah.
it's a party.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so it's just so much fun to do that show, and that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. So, folks, thank you so much for listening, and
I
we will
know, thank
see
you.
you probably in a what is it? What are we in March?
Oh, we'll
So
be back. We'll be
yeah,
back before then. We have some episodes that we need to drop for sure.
and we're going to be gearing up for it all, and
Yeah.
we will see you next time.